What's going on?
Going to work.
Since when?
Ronnie, we discussed this the other day.
We agreed it wouldn't work.
No, we didn't. That's not fair. I told you exactly what I planned to do.
And I told you how I felt. I thought that was an end to it. You're not serious about this.
Why wouldn't I be? You're better with her than I am. This is the best solution all round.
So this is what you intend to do, just disappear and leave her whenever you feel like it? It's the job that's meant to be the part-time arrangement, not the baby.
I don't know what your dad's up to. He's making a heck of a racket. What on earth?
No harm done.
Have these gas rings been on all night?
Don't worry about the bill.
I'm not worried about the bill, Christopher. He could have burned the house down. He could have killed us all.
It wasn't deliberate.
I can't do this anymore.
You don't have to do anything. I'm cleaning up.
I can't do any of it anymore. I can't listen to him reading the same paragraph out of the newspaper over and over again. I'm sick of being accused of stealing his pension or his Radio Times.
You can't help it.
Oh, love, I know.
You don't understand. How he's feeling. Everything's slipping away.
I do understand. I just hoped we might have a nice organised morning. I'm jittery as hell about this interview. If I get this job, and when you found someone else to look after your dad...
I'm not going to uproot him until I have to. He's perfectly all right here.
No, he isn't. We can't manage, can we? Phone the doctors again today. Shake them up.
We don't even need the money.
Oh, no, don't start that again. I'm not falling for that this time.
Family comes first in my book.
Come off it! 23 years I've put this family first. So if you think for 1 minute I'm going to find any more excuses for why I can't get out there and have a life like everybody else, you've got another think coming.
I'm just saying there's a full-time job for you here. Especially since Dad started needing the pads. I know it's not easy.
You're telling me. How many nappies is one woman expected to change in a lifetime?
I can't say I enjoy it myself.
I'm not saying you don't do your share. We both deserve a life, though, don't we? We should be enjoying ourselves now the boys are getting older.
I've told you. I've got it in hand. The doctors are looking into it. And this thing with the cooker, he's just having a bad spell.
You did tell the doctors he's having more and more bad spells, didn't you?
You know, love, I really don't think he should be left on his own today.
All right, I should be back by 11.
Sorry, Angie. I can't be at home today.
What?
I've got a meeting with Pearson's at 10. They're a key account.
I'm not missing that interview.
I've already taken too many days off to look after him. If I cancel, he'll hit the roof. I can't risk it.
Did you hear me, Christopher? I am not missing that interview.
Take him with you. Leave him in the car with his newspaper. He'll probably just doze.
You don't seem to care how much this interview means to me.
For goodness sake, Angie!
No! Listen! I've been patient. I've grafted. I've made sacrifices. I am not prepared to put my life on hold any longer. If you don't sort the situation with your dad out now, I'm going.
Look, I'd better start getting ready. Don't worry, he'll be fine. I can give you a ring at lunchtime if you like, to see if he behaved himself.
And to find out if I got the job.
Hey, someone sounds full of the joys of not quite spring. So, how did it go? Come on, you know what I mean.
It was fine.
Fine as in love of my life, or fine as in don't call me, I'll call you?
We had a great time, actually. Oh, I don't know, Julie. What if I've just got a thing about uniforms, left to Jerry and all of that?
What's that got to do with it? Surely it's the man inside the uniform.
Well...
Do you enjoy being with him?
Yeah.
Do you fancy him?
Yes.
Well, there you are then. Go, girl.
Dad, I need to have a word with you about the kitchen.
I tell you who's to blame, shall I?
You left all the gas rings on, Dad. Do you remember?
That shower on TV that go around ripping out perfectly good furniture and stapling chipboard everywhere.
Are you listening, Dad? You've got to be more careful when you use the cooker.
That main fellow, what's his name? They throw out perfectly good cabinets. They're painting things pink. Messing about with cushions and whatnot. It's no job for a man.
Dad, you left the gas rings on. Do you remember? They were on all night. It's dangerous.
Oh. I was after some hot milk. Did I not put the gas off? I'm sorry. Sorry, Christopher.
Ready, Dad? You were supposed to be getting him ready.
Please, Dad, quick. Put your trousers on.
Are you soft in the head? I'm already wearing my trousers.
Dad, we haven't got time for messing around this morning.
I always wear these with my sports jacket. Now, don't you go telling me how to dress.
I refuse to be late for that interview, Christopher.
Oh, I suppose he'll be all right in his pyjama bottoms. He won't be getting out of the car. Come on.
What? I'm sorry, you're just going to have to do the best you can. Okay. All right, thanks for now. Bye.
Right then, I'm off.
And you're forgetting something.
Bye-bye, little twiglet. Be a good girl.
See ya.
Here you go. I know you like these. Oh, I've got you something to read.
You can't carry on like this. I need to make a telephone call, Angela.
The minute I get back, I've got to dash.
Somebody's got to stop him. People have got to know that this is not the way to carry on.
Please, Dad. I won't be long. Promise.
I'm not standing for this. I'm not going to have it. No. Leo, what do you think I'm doing here? Ridiculous. Tell him. I'm not going to have it. No, nothing.
Nice morning.
All right.
Are you looking for a particular street? I've got a map in the car. You sure I can't help at all?
Ah, you can. Can you direct me to the nearest telephone box?
I can do better than that. I'll give you a lift. Come on.
Right, Joe.
Hello, where is she then?
Oh, I see what you mean. She's at home with Ronnie. I thought I'd better start on my catching up.
What, you working?
Yeah, although I've got someone with me.
Hey, did I hear you say you're working today?
Yeah. Look, I'm not sure if he's a patient of ours. I'm a bit concerned about him. He's just walked out in front of a car. He's a bit confused. I just want to check him over, make sure he's okay.
George, could I have a word with you?
Yeah, can I just...
It is important.
Right. Do us a huge favour, Sarah. His name's Glenn, and he needs to make an urgent phone call.
Yeah, sure.
Cheers. I'll be right back.
Mr. Glenn?
Huh?
Hello. I understand you need to make a quick phone call.
Well, about time. What is this place? What are all that lot waiting for?
They're waiting to see the doctor.
What are you wittering on about?
Right, okay. Do you want me to dial for you? What's the number?
9,
Mm-hmm.
9, 9.
We didn't think you were coming back quite this soon.
Really, I'm fine.
I don't know, George, I'm going to have to talk to Mac about it.
I'm sure he'd agree with me. I better get back to reception. All right, Glenn, what's the problem?
Well, you told me I could make a phone call. You told me this was a phone box. What are all these people doing here?
It's not an emergency, George.
Stupid girl.
Right, Glenn, why don't you tell me what the matter is?
People need to be told. Enough of this brainwashing. Painting walls purple, hammering things together in chipboard. It's all got to stop. Don't you understand? It's got to stop.
Okay, well, let's have a cup of tea, shall we? Talk about it.
Sorry, George, can I see you for a minute, please?
Sure, just 1 minute. Glenn, why don't you come into the staff room, sit down, and we'll decide what to do.
You shouldn't be here, George.
Listen.
No, you listen. First child. Complications resulting in an extended stay in hospital. Now, what would you say to a patient in those circumstances who insisted on returning to work within a few weeks of coming out of hospital?
I'm not a patient.
At this stage, George, you are a patient. Go home. Yeah?
Hello, Emil Hassanter. Good morning.
Hi, Sarah. It's Elizabeth.
Oh, hello, Elizabeth.
Look, I'm not available for the drop-in clinic this morning. Would you make alternative arrangements, please?
But your name's on the list.
I appreciate that, but as I said, I'm not available.
Well, why not? Is there a problem?
I don't think there's any of your concern, do you? Would you please inform the other doctors?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry, I didn't realise you wanted to call the police.
It's okay.
Problem?
Apparently Elizabeth's unavailable for today's drop-in clinic. She's on the list and everything, wouldn't even say why.
Well, no worries, I'll do it.
Oh, I don't know, you sure?
Just discussed it with Mac. I mean, I'll see Glenn first, then line up the patients for the rest of the morning.
Oh, if you're positive, that'd be great.
Okay. What was he on about interior design?
Oh, he wanted that bloke arrested off the holiday home makeovers.
I could see his point. Right, so onwards and upwards.
We're off now, Sarah. Back before 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.
Christopher, give me a call as soon as you get this message. I've just got back to the car and your dad's nowhere to be seen.
I hope we haven't delayed you too much. Where were you off to?
Oh, don't ask me. Some bee she had in her bonnet.
Your wife?
Don't be daft. She died in '92.
Sorry. So, do you have any family of your own, Glenn?
No. Margie couldn't have children. Somewhat or other, I don't know what. Need-to-know basis.
Whereabouts do you live?
It's not everything in life, you know, having children. There are plenty of nice kids out there already, wanting homes. No point in churning out more of your own.
Do you live on your own, Glenn?
And they end up in crime, some of them, you know. Oh, why, those that don't get a good start in life. But not our Christopher. Oh, no. He's a regional manager, you know. Oh, aye. Satellite navigation. Yeah.
Christopher, fantastic. Why don't you tell me a bit more about him?
He's 11 years old. And he got a tooth knocked out. He's got to learn to run away from the bigger lads.
But he's not 11 anymore, is he?
No. He used to be. When he first come to us, he was 11 years old.
And where does he live? Let's have a look. Well, that's odd. We haven't seen Glenn since February 1998, and there's no mention whatsoever of dementia.
Or perhaps he gets visited regularly by the house visitors.
Well, you think if he did, they'd have put it in his notes somewhere, wouldn't you? Listen, give Christopher a ring, put his mind at rest. I've got Glenn settled in the staff room. I'm going to find out what's going on.
Okay. Are you ready for your next patient?
Yes, I am. Who have you got for me? Mrs. Crosher. Would you like to come with me?
Is George seeing patients?
She's doing drop-in clinic. Elizabeth couldn't make it.
They didn't call her in, did they?
No, she was already here. She agreed it with Mac. Hello, Mill High Centre.
Hi, it's Rob Keevy. You know who there.
Hold on 1 moment. Faith, it's for you.
Faith Walker?
I'd like an appointment, please.
Rob, you shouldn't be calling me on the surgery phone.
Yeah, well, your mobile's switched off. All I've got all morning is the mobile you're calling is switched off. Please try again later.
What is it you wanted? I really need to get off this line.
Yeah, like I said, I'd like an appointment. Come out with me tomorrow evening.
During the week's difficult.
When then?
Friday, maybe?
Sorry, working. Picking up the walking wounded when the pub's closed. Oh, come on. Make it tomorrow evening. Come on, Faith. I promise I'll get you home to bed early.
Careful, I might just take you up on that.
Tomorrow it is then.
Okay.
I look forward to it.
Bye. Don't say a word.
Where on earth have you been?
I only just got your message. Have you heard anything?
It's okay, Chris. Panic over. He's been found. He's perfectly safe. I just wanted to get hold of you first. Put your mind at rest.
It's a relief.
I'll give those doctors a piece of my mind when I pick him up.
At the police station?
What? No, at the doctor's surgery.
Which doctor's surgery?
Ours.
Oh, no.
What?
Angie, he hasn't been seen by those doctors for years.
Don't be stupid. You took him last Wednesday.
We sat in the burger bar.
You've been lying to me.
You were so determined to get him packed off into a home, but I'm never going to let that happen.
You've lied to me all along.
I told you what you wanted to hear.
Well, I'm going to tell you something you don't want to hear. I'm not going to go and pick him up. You can. And you can explain why you've stopped an old man with serious health problems from getting medical care. How could you do something like that? To your own dad? It's despicable.
Your father must have given you quite a scare.
You've not been having these nice people on, have you, Dad? Sorry, he's got a wicked sense of humour, I don't know. Well, we've taken up enough of your time. Come on, Dad.
Mr. Hodgkins, can I just ask, what sort of care has your dad been receiving?
The best possible care. Where's your coat, Dad?
It's just that we don't have any record of him being assessed.
He's being well cared for by people that love him.
Yeah, I'm sure. There are a number of physical causes that could explain your dad's condition, but we really can't rule out the possibility of dementia.
He's not seen her.
Dementia can be extremely distressing for those suffering from it, and, well, a great strain on the family as well.
Not on us.
It's also degenerative, so if that is the diagnosis, your dad is going to need different types of care as time passes.
Oh, yeah. Step 1, shove him in an asylum. Step 2, turn him into a vegetable by showing him no respect. Step 3, knock him about when no one's going to believe what he says.
Christopher!
Mr. Hodgkins, we don't want to upset your dad.
Don't think I don't understand what goes on. I've seen it myself, at first hand. Social workers aren't getting within a mile of my dad. Come on, Dad.
Gone?
Rushed out. I didn't even get the chance to give him these. Glenn left them in the staff room.
Would you make a note of Christopher Hodgkins' address for me, please?
Yep, sure.
Because I'm finished now. I could pop round the house, drop off Glenn's glasses, and maybe Christopher would be happy to talk to me outside of the surgery.
Oh, are you sure Glenn's son was in a right strap?
Now, you see, I think Christopher Hodgkins' bark is worse than his bite. He's very close to his dad, but I can't work out why he's been keeping us all in the dark about Glenn's condition.
Come and sit down. I've got you some lunch.
Oh, thank you.
Did you explain? We sorted it all out.
Angie,
Don't waste your breath. I hope you're proud of yourself.
I did what I thought was right.
Good choice of words. Now I'm going to do the same.
What do you mean?
I warned you. I'm leaving.
You're going nowhere.
Watch me.
Now your problem. You've no sense of loyalty.
How dare you?
If you had my childhood, you'd know there's nothing more important than loyalty to family.
What about your loyalty to me? To love and to cherish, as long as I don't decide to lie to her year upon year. To have and to hold so tight every breath is squeezed out of her body until she can't remember who she was or what her dreams were.
Sorry, I couldn't get any answer from the front.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's all right. Ben and I feel like old friends now.
It wasn't neglect, you know.
I know. Glenn looks like he's been extremely well cared for, and I know how difficult that is to do without support.
He's worth it.
You don't have much faith in social workers, do you?
Neither would you if you'd seen what I'd seen.
You in care for long? Glenn told me.
Too long. I've seen some of the things that'll make your toes curl.
You obviously have bad memories of that time, but negative experiences are more the exception rather than the rule. We all want to help Glenn receive the care that he needs, and you'll be involved in that every step of the way.
I know it's the right thing to do. I was scared about not being able to keep him safe. I'll come into the surgery, though. We'll talk about it.
Good.
Better go to see my wife.
So are they shooting it out, or are they ridden off into the sunset? I'd have thought you'd have had enough action for one day. Glenn, have you thought about what you'd like to do?
Well, I've tried to talk to him, but he doesn't listen. He thinks he knows best. But he doesn't know what it's like. People telling you that you've done things which you can't remember doing. Or sometimes you can remember. And, you know, now it seems ridiculous, but at the time, it seemed like the right thing to do.
Frightening.
It's terrifying. And I hate what it's doing to Christopher and Angie. You see, I love him, if I'm honest. But I know that one day I will look at him and I will see resentment staring back at me. I don't want that.
It wouldn't be the same, though, love. You wouldn't be expected to care for him.
I'll call you when I get settled.
For crying out loud, I've said I'm sorry.
You played God with our lives, Christopher, for years. Your dad's and mine.
Things will change. Honestly, they will. This is just some midlife crisis you're going through. Suits, jobs, God knows what else.
Possibly. You know, they've got it wrong on the telly. Getting older isn't about wrinkles and cellulite. It's about how many choices you've got. You start out and life's like this big, wide avenue with roads leading off it. But for years now, I feel as if I've been walking down an alley, and it's getting narrower and narrower, and the walls on either side are getting higher and higher.
So why didn't you say anything?
Did. I talked till I was blue in the face. You never listened.
This is ridiculous. You didn't even get the job. Even if you leave, nothing will change. It'll be the same alley.
Maybe. But if I don't have to share it with you and your dad, it may not feel as suffocating as it does now.
Please, Angie. I can make things better. You don't know what it was like being in care. If you did, you'd understand.
Margie didn't like physical violence, but I said to her, if he plays up, I'll give him a clip round the ear. Oh, no. Usually the threat was enough. All he wanted to do was please.
Thanks for everything, Dr. Woodson. I'm sorry about earlier.
No problem. I understand, honestly.
You went to university, Dr. Woodson. 6, 7 years. Gap year, travelling around the world. Interesting career. So many different options. Each new day full of opportunity. With respect, Dr. Woodson, you don't understand. Honestly.
Hi.
Hello.
Everything okay?
Yep, no problems. You've just got a few messages.
Oh, wasn't expecting to see George.
No, neither was I. You better make an arrangement. She's bound to want to start back sooner rather than later.
She's back already, isn't she?
No. I told her to go home.
She did the drop-in clinic this morning.
What?
But I thought that she was going...
Is she in her room?
No, she's already left.
What happened, Sarah? You've got the rota?
Well, Elizabeth said she couldn't do it and George said she would do it. She said she'd already covered it with you.
No, I told her to go home.
Sarah wasn't to know.
Don't book any more patients in for her until further notice, OK?
Okay, yes, sorry.
Yeah, and Jimmy can take care of tomorrow's drop-in if necessary. I am going to talk to George.
A Night at the Opera ends in murder and a case for Jessica Fletcher next here on BBC1. Or if you prefer crime with a royal connection, there's a puzzle at the palace. History Mysteries at 3 over on BBC2.